Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is Jason. Recently I was at a few hockey games, which is why I've been a little bit busy. Haven't been able to upload, but I have been planning this video for a while. And I went to games 1 and 2 of the North Division Finals between the Toronto Marlies and the Rochester Americans. Games 1 and 2 were at the Coca-Cola Coliseum in Toronto. In terms of the arena, there's a lot of features, cool little features that I like about the arena. It's definitely an older barn. One thing that's interesting is that they have a large walkway in the middle of the stands. You can see there's like premium seating near the glass, and then the main stand, there's actually a big walkway where you could walk around the entire inside of the arena, which is really unique. Another interesting thing with this arena is that you can't really walk around the entirety of the concourse. It's not a complete circle. The back end is actually cut off, so you can't go fully around. It's basically like a horseshoe type concourse where you can only go back and forth. You can't go fully around. So I was there for warm-ups early, and that was really cool because they basically allow you to walk wherever you want inside the arena. Obviously, not really during the game, of course, but during warm-ups, it's so cool to see the players up close. They also had the Scotiabank skater, which was really fun. I bet that kid had a really good time going around the arena. And in general, the hype up for the player entrances is pretty cool for an AHL team, a building. The hype levels were pretty good. The only problem was the crowd. In game 1, it was on a Thursday night, so you can kind of understand it, but the crowd really wasn't there for game 1, so the atmosphere wasn't that spectacular. But the PA announcer was really good at his job, and he did hype up the crowd pretty well. But for me, I was expecting a packed house, especially for the North Division Finals of the Calder Cup playoffs. But yeah, so here's some game footage that I got. I got a lot of it for game 1, just so you guys can see my view from the seats. And basically, the Americans dominated the first 2 periods of game 1, and it was pretty clear that Toronto just didn't have what it takes to battle against a strong Rochester Americans team. So Toronto basically had 0 shots the entire first period. I believe they had 2 totaling in the first period, so definitely not a good effort from them. They did score 1. Rochester did reply with 4 goals in the first 2 periods, and that was kind of what sealed the game. You could tell in the crowd that it was pretty much over. They could mount a comeback in the 3rd period, which they kind of did, but at the same time, a 4-1 lead is a big lead, especially in the playoffs. Rochester played good defense the entire game, so it would have been hard to break through. The Marlies did try to come back in the last 3 minutes of the game. They were 4-3 down. All they needed was 1 goal, so they pulled the goalie and went all-out attack mode for about 2 minutes in the 3rd period, but unfortunately for them, they couldn't get it done. Rochester sealed the victory and took game 1 on the road in Toronto. So a big win for that club, and a good start to their North Division Finals. All right, so here's game 2, and what was really interesting about game 2 was I actually got up close to the player walkouts, and this was before warm-up, so I actually got there especially early. And before warm-ups, the Marlies, how they get to the ice is it cuts through the concourse, so the players literally walk out through the concourse. I like how the fans, you have so much access to the players. You don't have to pay anything to be here. You could come up and take a picture, take a video like I did. And then there were kids as well that got some fist bumps and stuff like that. So I thought that was a really cool touch for this old arena. And it was also fun to hear the players yelling and hyping themselves up and hyping up for the game. I think that's a really cool aspect and something you don't get in a lot of arenas, especially in the NHL. And then the warm-ups for game 2, it was so cool to be up close to goalies Mike Hauser and Malcolm Subban, and also the captain Mike Mersch. And yeah, it was cool to get so close to the glass and see them up close. It's always an interesting experience to watch them warm up. I think what you don't realize before going to these games is that they're actually way bigger out on the ice, and the ice is way smaller than what you think on TV. So the atmosphere for game 2 was definitely a lot better. I had a different seat than last time, which is interesting to get a different viewpoint. But there were a lot more fans in attendance for game 2. It was a Saturday afternoon start, so it allowed more people to get out to the arena. And overall, the atmosphere is a lot better. Even though, spoiler alert, the Marlies lost even worse than in game 1, but the fans really brought it. It was pretty loud pretty much the entire game just because there was way more fans. But I was a bit surprised that they didn't pack the entire house. I've seen other AHL teams like literally pack the stadium full. But overall in game 2, it was a similar deal. The Americans definitely outplayed the Marlies, but the Marlies, the key difference was they got way more shots. They were able to put a lot more pressure on the Americans, and I almost can't believe I did it, but I was able to actually grab footage of an Americans goal. I believe it was the 6-3 goal on the power play by Michael Mersch. But yeah, that was a cool moment to actually record an AHL goal. And of course, there's a lot more Americans fans attending this game. But that'll conclude the video. I'll just leave you with the highlights of all the goals. I do want to know, viewers, all of you guys, what you want to see from my channel. I was contemplating maybe doing more video essays like the one I did on the Florida Panthers. Anyways, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a comment, let me know your thoughts down below. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.